China is building 15 massive mega projects that will reshape the entire nation by 2035. A 1,000-kilometer maglev train flying at 600 kilometers per hour. A future AI city with no traffic lights and no overhead wires. China is spending over $500 billion to make these builds real. A single megatunnel cuts a 2-hour drive into 20 minutes. A giant water delivery network will save 200 cities from running dry. Imagine trains that float like airplanes. Imagine ports run only by robots, not people. Imagine rockets taking off from a floating deep-sea spaceport. Between now and 2035, these projects will change how 1.4 billion people travel, work, and live. Some are already under construction, others break ground in months. Together, they form the largest infrastructure transformation in human history. These are the 15 mega projects that will transform China by 2035. Each one reshapes a region, an industry, or a future city. From maglevs to spaceports, China is building tomorrow today. Stay until the end, because the final project will change the world more than all the others combined. Let's start with number 15, the 1,000-kilometer maglev that turns cities into neighbors. China is building a magnetic train between Chengdu and Chongqing. A 1,000-kilometer line designed to float above the tracks at more than 600 kilometers per hour. The longest ultra-high-speed maglev project ever attempted. Today, the trip takes 3 hours. Soon it will take only 45 minutes. 2 huge cities with almost 50 million people will feel like one giant metro area. Cost, $30 to $40 billion. Completion, 2035. This single line forms China's third national superhub after Beijing, Shanghai, and the Greater Bay Area. It is like traveling from Los Angeles to San Francisco in under an hour. Big distances become short. Geography stops being a barrier, and the project creates a new economic zone for over 100 million people. This is only number 15. The next project digs under an entire sea to connect megacities in minutes. Let's move to number 14, the Pearl River Delta Tunnel that collapses a 2-hour drive into 20 minutes. The Shenzhen-Zhongshan corridor is a massive underwater tunnel and bridge system cutting across the Pearl River Delta. It links 2 of China's strongest manufacturing zones into one unstoppable region. Phase 2 will carry more than 100,000 vehicles every single day. Today, the drive takes 2 hours through crowded highways. This tunnel will shrink it to 20 minutes. Millions of workers will gain hours of life back every day. Cost, over $20 billion. Timeline, 2030 to 2034. Part of the Greater Bay Area's 1-hour living circle, connecting 11 cities with a combined GDP larger than entire nations. It is like connecting New York to Philadelphia in 20 minutes through an underwater expressway. A long road trip becomes a simple commute. The region transforms into one megacity. And just like the tunnel's reshaped land, China is expanding its skies with a project of unimaginable scale. Let's move to number 13, the giant airport city rising in Shanghai. Shanghai Pudong is already one of China's busiest airports. China is now building a massive expansion around it. The plan adds 2 new runways, a huge satellite terminal, and a full cargo zone. It will handle 140 million travelers every year by 2035. But this is where things get even bigger. This upgrade turns the area into an airport city. People will live, work, and move inside one aviation zone. There will be hotels, offices, factories, and warehouses beside the runways. Everything supports non-stop flights and non-stop trade. And the impact keeps growing. The cost is $25 to $30 billion. It becomes the world's largest cargo hub. It will create hundreds of thousands of jobs. Planes will land, load, and take off with record speed. But this mega project reveals a deeper problem China must solve. Northern China is running out of water fast, so the next project moves trillions of liters across the nation. Let's see how the South-North water diversion keeps 200 cities alive. Let's move to number 12, the giant water highway built to keep 200 cities alive. Northern China is running out of water fast. Cities like Beijing and Hebei face serious water stress every year. Phase 2 will move trillions of liters from the south to the north. This is where things get serious. Without this project, whole regions could fail. Factories would stop. Crops would die. Millions of people would be forced to move away. This water highway is about survival, not comfort, and the scale is massive. The cost is $60 to $75 billion. It is the world's largest water project ever built. It will finish by 2035 and protect over 200 cities. Water from the wet south will travel uphill toward the dry north. Engineering starts doing what nature cannot. But water is only one resource China is securing. Next comes a city of the future with no traffic lights at all. Let's step into Xiongan, China's new AI smart city. Let's move to number 11. The new AI smart city called Xiongan. Xiongan is China's city of the future. All utilities are hidden underground. All transport is autonomous. All major systems run on AI. This is not a normal city. By 2035, over 3 million people will live here. It is built from scratch, not rebuilt from an old town. It will take many roles away from Beijing to reduce pressure on the capital. The design is built for the next generation. The cost is over $100 billion. There are no traffic lights. AI controls every vehicle. Underground tunnels carry all utilities for fast repairs. The whole city works like one smart machine. But a smart city needs a smart network. And China is building an unhackable quantum internet next. Let's move to the 6G quantum network shaping 2035. Let's move to number 10, China's new quantum internet. China is building a quantum secure network across the whole country. It will connect all major provinces using quantum keys. By 2035, it becomes the base for China's 6G system. This is not the normal internet anymore. Regular internet can be hacked. Quantum systems use physics to stop hacking at the source. If someone tries to steal data, the signal breaks instantly. Security becomes a built-in shield. The project costs $40 to $50 billion. It will change cybersecurity, banking, and military communication. Full rollout arrives between 2030 and 2035. It is the safest network ever built. But China is not stopping at secure networks. Beijing is building a new political center along a historic canal. Let's move to number 9, Beijing's new canal city. Beijing is changing its Tongzhou district into a new government center. This area will hold museums, transport hubs, and national archives. By 2035, it becomes China's second political center. One city, two centers of power. Beijing today is too crowded, traffic is heavy, air quality is bad, offices are spread out. Tongzhou brings these government functions into one clean, modern zone. Work becomes faster and smoother. The project costs over $20 billion. It is built along the ancient Grand Canal. It will support millions of residents and workers by 2035. The canal becomes the heart of the new capital. But China is not only building new cities, it is also building ports with no human workers at all. Let's move to number 8, China's new robot ports. 4 major ports, Shanghai, Ningbo, Tianjin, and Qingdao, are turning 100% autonomous. Robotic cranes load ships. Self-driving trucks move containers. Everything runs with AI, not people. This is the new face of global trade. By 2035, these ports will handle 1 billion tons of cargo every year. Robots work faster, safer, and non-stop. Humans once did these jobs, but AI now does them with perfect timing. The system never gets tired. The upgrade costs $10 to $15 billion. Completion is set for 2030 to 2035. These ports will boost China's maritime power worldwide. It is like an Amazon warehouse, but the size of a city. Only machines, no brakes, total speed. But the port system is only one part of the plan. China is also building a 1,500-kilometer high-speed rail loop. Let's move to the megaloop that links 4 megacities into one region. Let's move to number 7, the Yangtze Delta Superloop. This loop connects Shanghai, Hangzhou, Nanjing, and Hefei. All trains run 350 to 400 kilometers per hour. By 2035, every major city will be 1 hour apart. The whole region starts to feel like one city. People can live in one city, work in another, shop in a third, all in the same day. Daily life becomes fast, easy, and fully connected. The project costs $70 billion plus. The loop forms an economy equal to the 5th largest in the world. Full completion arrives by 2035. It is like linking Boston, New York, Philadelphia, and DC with trains that feel like subways. Distance stops mattering, but China is not stopping with high-speed trains. It is now building jetliners to challenge Boeing and Airbus. Let's move to China's new C919 and C929 aircraft. Let's move to number 6, China's new jetliners. China is building 2 major planes, the C919 and the C929. The C919 competes with the Boeing 737 and Airbus A320. The C929 competes with the Boeing 787 and Airbus A350. China wants its own place in global aviation. For many years, Boeing and Airbus controlled the market. Now China is entering with its own home-built jets. By 2035, airlines across China may fly both models. Some global airlines may join too. The program costs $50 billion plus. The C919 reaches mass production by 2030. The C929 follows by 2035. China is also building 12 new aviation bases to support this growth. It is like a new car brand challenging Toyota and Ford. The old leaders stayed on top for decades. The new player is rising fast. But China is not only building planes, it is also expanding its energy power. Let's move to the Three Gorges Energy Cluster, a new renewable giant. Let's move to number 5, the new Three Gorges Energy Cluster. The Three Gorges Dam is already the world's largest hydropower plant. Now, China is turning it into a full renewable energy hub. By 2035, it will combine hydro, solar, wind, and a huge water battery system. This dam becomes a complete clean power ecosystem. This upgrade costs $30 billion. It adds more than 30 gigawatts of new energy power. The project completes between 2028 and 2035. It is like turning one power plant into a whole energy network. The dam makes power. Solar panels make power. Wind turbines make power. The water battery stores all extra energy. But China is not stopping with energy. Next comes a sea-crossing rail bridge where trains hit 350 kilometers per hour over open water. How do you keep a train stable at that speed above the ocean? The Shantou Bay Bridge will show the answer. Let's move to number 4, the Shantou Bay High-Speed Rail Bridge. This bridge connects Fujian and Guangdong across open ocean water. It stretches 20 kilometers from coast to coast. Trains will cross it at 350 kilometers per hour without slowing down. This is high-speed rail moving like a jet above the sea. The project costs $13 to $16 billion. It cuts travel time to under 40 minutes. It becomes one of the fastest sea-crossing rail bridges on Earth. It is like crossing a long bridge at the speed of a race car. The ocean passes under you in seconds. You barely feel the water below. But China is not only building ocean bridges. Next, it turns the Gobi Desert into a giant clean energy factory. What happens when a desert starts powering 200 million people? The renewable corridor is about to show it. Let's move to number 3, the Lanzhou-Urumqi Desert Energy Corridor. This project covers huge areas of the Gobi Desert. It will build over 50 gigawatts of solar and wind power. New UHV lines will move this energy to big eastern cities. The Gobi was once empty land. Now it becomes a massive clean energy zone. It will power 200 million people across China. The cost is $20 billion. It includes hydrogen plants and big battery systems. Completion is set for 2030 to 2035. But land projects are not the end. China is now building a deep-sea rocket platform. What happens when rockets launch from the middle of the ocean? This new sea spaceport is about to change everything. Let's move to number 2, China's new deep-sea rocket base built on the ocean. It is a floating launch platform that works near the equator. Launching at the equator gives rockets extra speed from Earth's rotation. This saves fuel and lifts bigger payloads into space. Most countries launch from land, far from the equator. China's ocean base uses the fastest point on Earth for a better launch. The project costs $9 to $12 billion and finishes by 2031 to 2035. It cuts satellite costs by up to 30%. But this is not the end. China's next mega project will power the whole nation with a single grid. Finally, number 1, China's new UHV supergrid that moves clean energy across the entire nation. It links solar and wind farms in the west to big cities in the east. By 2035, it will move over 300 gigawatts of clean power. Most clean energy is made in remote areas where few people live. The UHV lines push this power thousands of kilometers with almost no loss. The project costs $80+ billion and becomes China's energy backbone. It is like a highway for electricity. Power flows across China like traffic. And this grid makes China's renewable future possible. These 15 megaprojects are not separate works. They form one national transformation. By 2035, China will run 600 kilometers per hour maglevs, AI cities, quantum internet, robot ports, and a nationwide clean energy grid. Most countries build one project at a time. China is building a new version of itself all at once. This is civilizational engineering. We showed you all 15 projects, and China is proving that infrastructure shapes the future. By 2035, China will run maglevs, AI cities, and a national clean energy grid. Water will move across provinces. Megacities will link into one network. The future is already being built. You just saw 15 megaprojects shaping China's next era. If this impressed you, like and subscribe. Now tell me, which project amazed you the most?